Now everything should be working. Yep. Okay. All right, you want me to open it up?
What's the name of this one?
Episode 1, Office Hours Unscripted.
Yeah. But like, are we just gonna
How
call
it
it
came to
episodes?
be?
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
That's fine.
Hey, y'all, thanks for watching.
Wait, did you start the recording?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Damn. Hey, y'all, welcome back to Office Hours Unscripted, Episode 1. Today we're going to talk about how the podcast came to be, pretty much it, and what's in tune for the rest of the year. So I'm actually going to start off by passing it off to Adam because it was his idea, and he might have a little more to say about why he wanted to start it in the first place and what we're trying to do with the podcast.
Yeah, so I think there's a few different things that kind of come to mind in terms of why are we starting this. I think the first thing is we enjoy being in the same room. We enjoy having great conversations, and I think that's something that we do too much. We have great conversations with our friends and our peers and our coworkers, but let's share that with the world. So why not bring that to you guys in the form of this podcast series? That's number one. But two, I think there's some value to be had from the conversations that we have with each other. A lot of it is around, hey, man, I'm feeling a little burnt out with becoming a real adult after college. Like, how do you deal with it? How do I deal with it, right? We have those kinds of conversations. You know, what are our goals? What are our aspirations as we try to navigate young adulthood, right? And I think those are things that a lot of people, especially in our age group, Gen Z, can relate to. So I'd say those are probably the first two reasons that we wanted to start this podcast. And the third part, as much as everything else in life, is just to have fun, man.
No, yeah, I think the last point was a big one for me when Adam was like, hey, let's do this together. Because funny enough, and I think I've told you before, I used to do YouTube for fun when I was a kid. I probably had 3 separate YouTube channels. My closest friends know this, right? I had like Bacon Soldier 410. I had like Bacon's Gaming, and I was making like the worst YouTube videos ever, but you know, that's how I came to have like the Yeti microphone.
I'm hoping that is vastly improved this time.
Yeah, yeah. And I've had like, you know, Astro 40s all to make, you know, videos that get 10 views. So that was the biggest thing for me. It was like, oh, I kind of get to indulge in that after the work week or whatever. But I think another reason that I came to want to do this was because we had these conversations with people in college.
Yep.
As I guess.
And we still do.
Yeah, we still do. But even in the student orgs that we were in, which maybe we can give some context to that as well, we had a lot of conversations or one-on-ones with people every week about, you know, what do I do now? What am I going to do later? And like you said, we revisit those conversations now. We have people who went down a path and call us back as friends and say, hey, I'm thinking about doing the next thing. What do we do? So by no means are we gurus, but we do have these conversations a lot. And I think to your point, that's why we kind of feel this need to like revisit them and post it for the people that we know on a day-to-day basis. It just might serve as a reminder to them. Maybe that's the next point. Maybe give some context to why we had so many of these conversations, introduce ourselves a little. We'll go from there. So you can go first.
Yeah, I think part of the reason that we had these conversations all the time is that we were both a part of the student consulting group at Penn State. It's called NLCG, so the 99 Consulting Group. Shameless plug there. We were both in various roles. We model it after a traditional consulting firm, so we both served as associates and EMs at some point, and later either directive or the executive board. So there's a lot of especially we serve all throughout freshman to senior year, and even some grad students will join the program. But regardless of your tenure at Penn State, it's one of those programs where we're always learning from each other and we're learning together. We're learning from the clients that we were working with. And as we had some of those leadership roles within the organization, people will come to us and say, well, hey, I'm really struggling right now. What did you guys do to get through it? Or I feel as though I've gotten a lot of value out of this program, or I've gotten a lot of value out of my degree, or I'm not getting value out of my degree. Like, where do I go next, right? And, you know, at first it was just like our thoughts and our insights. But I think at some point, and we can kind of talk about this as we get into some of the topics, but we kind of have like a playbook for how we can kind of give advice for these different scenarios, these different situations that students are in. Because at the end of the day, they start to all follow the same type of 3, 4, maybe 5 different paths, right? And I think we also came to a point of, at least I know for myself, I find value not only when I'm succeeded, but when I'm also able to teach others to succeed as well. And I think that's something that Gabe and I both resonated with us, and we wanted to continue to share that with other people.
And I think what makes the two of us unique in giving that kind of advice or having these conversations is that we're also not afraid to say, like, we did this and it did not work for us. It might or probably won't work for you. If it does, great, but we're very transparent and honest in the feedback or in the comments, thoughts that we give. So that's why we kind of had the unscripted take on Office Hours, because when we both sought feedback, thoughts, comments from other people, we always wanted it to just be straightforward. And maybe we can give that, back here. And funny enough, again, to your point, you talk about how they all those conversations end up to have some common theme a lot of the time. And recently you had one of those conversations with a mutual that we knew.
Yep.
I think we should also add context to outside of NLCG, who we are. Again, I'll let you start it off because they know we're Penn State grads. They know we met at Penn State and that we were both in NLCG, but maybe talk about the things outside of that you did. And I
did. I think that's also one of the things that put us on the map, or each other's radius, I should say. For myself, throughout Penn State, I basically had one goal. I was like, I'm studying business. I'm here on a full ride. How do I take this opportunity to the next level? What are some of the things that I can continue to do? So for me, that was, I wrote a book on time management, and I also gave a TED Talk on opportunity, right? And those were things that I was like, okay, not only are these opportunities that I can take, see the pun right there, that I can take to develop myself, but also develop those around me to enrich the community around me. And I would say NLCG and then the Google Developer Student Club for a period of time, my freshman, sophomore year, were two of the, I'd say, prominent programs on campus that I was a part of. And from there, I ended up going to intern, and now I work at a MBB firm.
Yeah, I didn't learn that until much later in my college career. I came in, I guess we both came in COVID, but long story short, I came in intended finance. I now ended up Masters of Accounting, ending up one of the big four professional service firms. I got involved at Penn State much later than I say most people, which is why I push it a lot to, even young family members, young friends. So it took me probably about till my junior year to really get into, or end of sophomore, early junior, NLCG, Sapphire. I was an accounting to 11 TA. Shout out to that. And it really wasn't until the end of my junior, early senior, where I didn't have a lot of time left, I realized, like you said, kind of the giving back part. But nonetheless, I made it all work, even though I have massive student loans left behind me. I made it somewhat worth my money. So that's a little bit about us. I don't really know if there's anything else to talk about in the intro. It's been about, actually it doesn't say. So
it does say, it says 250 seconds.
Bro.
Let's convert that.
All right, 4 or 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's been about 4 or 5 minutes. I don't think there's anything else to intro.
I mean, I think the other thing that
final thoughts. Maybe?
Yeah, final thoughts here, at least on my end. It's just that this is going to be an iterative journey. As you can see, we're not afraid to tell the truth. We've got our entry-level microphones. We've got the blue snowball.
Yeti.
We've got our Penn State neon sign. We've got our little studio set up out here. This is how we're going to come to you guys. We want to be authentic. We want you guys to understand that we're just having real conversations about real things that we call each other all the time about. We text each other and we're like, hey, man, like, what do you think about this? We're just going to bring that to you guys. So hopefully you guys enjoy the journey. We started an Instagram. We're going to have a YouTube, and we're going to upload the audio versions of this on Spotify. So tell your friends, tell your family, and any peers that you have, any coworkers that you have that you think would enjoy listening to the conversation that we have. We're just having the real talk, or as I should say, office hours, but unscripted.
Yeah. And as the best YouTubers would say, stay tuned for episode 2, where we're going to talk about goal setting right in time for the new year. And even better, like, comment, and subscribe.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.
See y'all.